Tonight, I want to talk about palm oil. May sound random, but it's very important. Palm oil is everywhere, in your food, in soap, in cosmetics, in snacks, sometimes even in chocolates. It has been labeled a miracle ingredient. Palm oil makes our soap more bubbly, our chips more crispy. It can give our candles their flame and make our lipstick smoother. Like I said, palm oil is everywhere. In India, it is also on every street corner. Your favorite snacks, from fried chips to burgers to samosas and everything in between, has most likely been made with palm oil. Did you know that India is the largest importer of palm oil? And this story is not an endorsement of the oil, it is a warning against it. Listen to this carefully. Experts believe palm oil can promote heart disease, and it has been linked to cancer. It's found in practically everything you eat outside, which is why home food is health food and eating out too much is said to be bad for health. And palm oil has a big role to play in that. So how much is too much? What do doctors say? And what should you be doing? We'll discuss all of this, starting with an introduction to palm oil. It is one of the world's most produced, most consumed and traded vegetable oils. It is extracted from the fruit of the oil palm tree. They're found in tropical climates, and the world is hooked to this oil. I have some numbers. 3 billion people in 150 countries use products with palm oil. 3 billion people. On an average, one person tends to consume 8 kilograms of palm oil in 1 year. 8 kilograms per person per year. That's the global average. And most of us don't even realize how and how much we are consuming it. Going by one claim, there are more than 200 common items that have palm oil, and these can be snacks like chips or home or personal care items like soaps and cosmetics. So how did the world end up using so much palm oil? How did it end up in almost every product that we use? Two reasons: low cost and high volumes. The oil palm, the tree that gives us this oil, is highly productive, so supply is abundant.
The other thing is that it's 50% saturated fat, which is a much higher rate of saturation than most oils, which makes it really useful to the food industry because it helps keep products shelf stable. And it also imparts the mouthfeel that food producers like, that consumers like. And then the last thing I would say is that it's so cheap. That's partly why it's so abundant, and it's so much cheaper than most other oils. So companies are obviously eager to use it. And that's also now that palm kernel oil is also being used in India a lot as a replacement for natural creams. So that high saturated, I mean, the fact that both of these oils are solid at room temperature, sort of suggests if you're getting that sort of solid stuff into your arteries, that's probably not going to be a good thing if you're getting a whole lot of it.
India is one of the world's biggest consumers. In 2021, India used over 9 million metric tons of palm oil. In 2018, consumption shot up by a whopping 230% in India. 70% of the vegetable oil used in India is imported. Almost 60% of this is palm oil. So one way or the other, we are all consuming it. How can the consumption be regulated? Well, some years back, Stanford University published a study. It looked into the possibility of a tax on palm oil, a 20% tax. That's what they suggested. It sounds like a lot, I know, but wait till you hear the conclusion. Researchers found that a 20% tax could save more than 350,000 lives, 350,000 lives, 350,000 people will have a reduced risk of heart attacks and stroke. Because palm oil can spell trouble for your heart. It has a high composition of saturated fatty acids and palmitic acid. Both of them are said to be harmful. They're known to raise blood cholesterol levels and promote heart disease. I have a case study. In the 1980s, Mauritius subsidized palm oil. It became cheaper, but the people of Mauritius paid a huge price for this subsidy. New cases of heart disease shot up dramatically. The problem became simply too big for the government to ignore. It started a health program. Soybean oil was subsidized instead of palm oil. Then the World Health Organization, or WHO, took notice. They studied the shift in Mauritius from palm oil to soy. And this is what they found: a 15% decrease in cholesterol levels of people. In the years since, more studies have been conducted, and they've all raised more doubts about palm oil. Here's what the European Food Safety Authority, or EFSA, has found. When used at high temperatures, palm oil can cause cancer. When this oil is heated, it releases something called glycidyl fatty acid esters, or GEs. It's a food contaminant. When digested by the human body, these GEs break down. They release a substance called glycidol. Scientists have studied glycidol extensively. They tested it with mice and rats. And here's what they found. This substance, glycidol, triggered the growth of malignant and benign tumors. Sounds scary. Well, critics say some of it is exaggerated. They say these studies on palm oil are not the last word. The sample size is too small. And there's also limited research on how much palm oil should be used. So we need more research. That's a given. Until then, what can you and I do? Should we stop using everything that has palm oil? Also, is that even possible? Well, here's what you can do. Check what you're consuming. Every packaged product has a list of ingredients. Eat out in moderation. Try substitutes like soybean or mustard. And remember, there is no alternative to leading a healthy lifestyle. Limit the use of oil. Have a good weekend.